Okay, so I want to drill down a little bit more on the background knowledge part because I really like that. A major focus of my doctoral study and my dissertation was the impact of background knowledge. So, in my specific study, I was looking at the impact of off-site learning or field trips based on where they're placed within the learning journey. So, I'm quite sure you and most of the listeners with us today have read my riveting dissertation. But in case you haven't, or maybe just to review, my findings indicated that the biggest impact on the effectiveness of a field trip was their background knowledge, what they brought to the table as they went into a new environment, as they were exposed to new information. And this referred to their experiences, to their knowledge, what they had already learned. All this played heavily into their knowledge and understanding gains in that off-site learning experience. So Rachel, talk with us more about the impact of background knowledge as it relates to reading. How could a teacher actually build background knowledge? Like that's really hard. That how do you load them full of background knowledge so they can use that in more learning? What would you say?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned the field trips because I wouldn't have even thought about that, but I could definitely see, how the field trips could be part of it. It's an experience. And then obviously this is where the parents and the teacher can come together with the students. So, I mean, honestly, building background knowledge is something that parents can do too. That's a huge part of, bringing learning home
Absolutely.
and as a parent, I'm always trying to stuff my kids' heads full of something.
Sure you are.
I kind of feel like a homeschool parent whose kids are in a Christian school.
Right.
So I think that, you have to recognize that the parents can have a huge component here. But in the classroom, when you're talking about building background knowledge, one of the things that you can do is just have lots of books around, lots of books, lots of informational texts available to students, reading aloud to students. And reading aloud is really good because you can actually read beyond their grade level and you can remove the impediment of the decoding to actually help promote that background knowledge that will actually help them with the comprehension. And let me just tell you, you are never too old to be read to.
That is
Everyone loves
so
to be
true.
everyone loves to be read to. I think I read to my kids every night until my oldest was 16, and I had to stop because I started working on my doctoral degree. So
That's right. Now they can
that's
read your dissertation.
now they can read my dissertation. Someday maybe I'll write something besides dissertations and textbooks that people actually want to read.
You would be good at that, Rachel.
But so having lots of books around, reading aloud to the students, providing time for students to read. I mean, even in high school, I did a Zoom meeting yesterday with a high school teacher from Green Bay, Wisconsin. She's an English language arts teacher, but she provides time every single week. She takes one of her class periods every single week and just gives her kids time to read. So giving your kids time to read is really great. Actually having students share what they know about. So, for example, my 15-year-old son, he would be absolutely thrilled to give a presentation on rock climbing to his class. If we can get students sharing knowledge with each other, and they may pay attention better because it's a peer
Sure.
rather than a teacher. We can have a really big part of it is having students complete manageable writing assignments in the content area. So if we can get them doing research, they're building their background knowledge as well. And even things like using anchor charts and graphic organizers can really help as they're taking in this information, but then they're also organizing it. So in a graphic, when they're using a graphic organizer, they're organizing information on paper. While they're organizing it on paper, they're also organizing it in their brains.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
that's really helpful. And even explicit systematic instruction, where you're starting at lower levels and you're moving to higher levels, and you're moving logically through material in a way that just rolls it out like a red carpet. That is really huge because we're affecting students, the structure of their knowledge. And that allows them to set up this mental cubby holes where they can put new knowledge as they learn. So all of those are really great ways to build background knowledge. And you can see how you could do that in any subject. You can really do that in any subject.
Enjoyed this short clip? That was just a sneak peek into a full episode on the Teacher Edition podcast. We are passionate about supporting Christian educators like you. Looking for more inspiration and practical strategies you could use today? Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by BJU Press.